Hello, and welcome to Channel 11 News at 6. My name is Timon Wheel, and this is my co-anchor, Alexis Reyes. In the flesh. The one and only. What do you mean not in the flesh? You're right here in front of me. Today, we will be talking to you about how World War II is impacting African Americans as well as African American culture. So let's not waste any time and go right into this. Currently, African Americans are not only fighting racism at home, they're also fighting fascism abroad. And they're being given opportunities to work for the government, thanks to President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who passed Executive Order 8802, which bans discrimination in government hiring, as well as 700,000 African Americans migrating from the south to the north to find jobs in the defense industry. As far as fighting fascism goes, that's our next topic, which is African American civil rights activist and political activist W.E.B. Du Bois is encouraging African Americans to support the war effort, as well as African Americans being trained and allowed into the Army Air Corps as officers and soldiers trained in combat. Which leads us to our next story about the 761st Tank Battalion and how valiantly they fought during the Battle of the Bulge, as well as the Tuskegee Airmen, a group of African American pilots trained under Booker T. Washington to fight fascism. Cut that part out. To fight in the skies, escorting B-52 bombers into the heart of the German homeland. For this, we go to my co-anchor, and later on, our eyewitness reporter, Adrian Stewart, but my co-anchor, Alexis Reyes.
Thank you, Timon. The Tuskegee Airmen were famous African-American pilots that were fighting during World War II. They felt it was necessary to join the Army because they were under pressure from civil rights groups, and also they felt like showing patriotism towards their country because they were citizens. There was supposed to be an experiment that was supposed to fail, but ended up succeeding instead. They're given airplanes that had the tail painted red to show and to identify that they were African Americans in the sky so they wouldn't get mixed up with Americans. Even though the African Americans were fighting alongside the Caucasians, they were still subjected to the Jim Crow laws, and the military was still racially segregated. The red tails were put on the 332nd Fighter Group and the 477th Bombardment Group of the United States Army Air Force. And now we can take a look at a picture of some Tuskegee Airmen. As you can see from the pictures, the African Americans were somewhat the same as what the other American pilots were. Around 1,000 African Americans wanted to become pilots, but only less than half actually made it through a program. Now, there's a movie out called Red Tails, which I highly recommend watching it because it's a good movie, and also because it gives you a little bit more background information on how the lives were while serving in the military as an African American during World War II. Now, some African Americans pilots have gained respect from other white pilots, but still suffer racial discrimination from few of them because of how they performed. And just to put it out there, the Tuskegee Airmen did not shoot as many planes down as the other American pilots, probably because they were not trained properly, because they're different skin tone. But now we will go to our on-scene reporter, Adrian Stewart, who is live at a private military hangar. Adrian, to you.
Thanks, Alexis. We're here in front of our private hangar. Okay, here's my interviewee. Franklin Johnson, an African American citizen. How big were the planes?
About 33 feet.
What color were they?
They were green. They had on the tail it was red to identify the African American.
Alright. So who were the Tuskegee Airmen led by?
Booker T. Washington.
Alright. How many African Americans graduated the program?
Nearly 1,000.
How many of them saw combat?
Nearly half of those graduates saw combat.
Alright. How many planes did you shoot down?
About 13.
Did you have a brother?
Yes,
Did he fly with you in combat?
he did. Unfortunately, he died in front of my eyes. His plane was shot down. It was hard to see. It was very difficult. I wanted to land my plane to check up on him, but I couldn't. And I didn't want to risk my life or my squad's.
Alright. How old was he?
He was 22.
Okay. How were you being discriminated during the war by the Americans?
Well, it was very difficult. We would go to restaurants or bars, and they would kick us out just because of our color. They wouldn't really let us near them, so it was kind of difficult. I actually got into a fight with the bar owner because he let me go in.
How long ago was that?
Recently.
Alright.
Recently.
Okay. Alright. Thanks. There, my American soldier, Jimmy Hancock. So how is it in the war, fighting with the Tuskegee Airmen?
They're doing well in the war. They certainly proved us wrong. No one had hope in them.
Alright. So, how old were they?
About 18 years and older.
Okay. How many battles did y'all win?
8,
How many did y'all lose so far?
4,
Okay. So, how many planes did you shoot down?
about 12.
Alright, so how many buildings did you bomb in Germany?
I don't know. We've been constantly bombing buildings in Germany, so it's kind of hard to keep count.
Okay. You did. Able to trade places with your brother, would you do it? Which brother?
All of them. I'd rather my mother be sent home one flag than 4.
Okay. Thank you. So, thanks here, Channel 11 News. Alright, I'm out.